Okay, this beauty is Kate Cohen. She is a contributing columnist for The Washington Post. And if you check out The Washington Post lately, you'll see all of their opinion articles have the big, bold, brown opinion badge right on the front. And it's the color of bullshit so that you can know that the rest of it is colorful bullshit as well. Check it out. She writes, Kate Cohen, this is her big brainchild question of the day. It is, can we just leave God out of the civic ceremonies, and specifically their prayers? She says, Amanda Gorman showed us how civic ceremonies can have prayer without invoking God. Why? Why would you say a prayer without invoking God? I don't care if it's a Muslim prayer or a Jewish prayer or a Christian prayer or a Hindu prayer or a whatever else prayer. And I'm open. I don't say whatever else to be condescending. I say whatever else. If you're praying to your God, that is freedom of religion. And so that is why we say one nation under God. They don't agree. She says, no, we need to excise God from the state. Make sure that the state officially recognizes there is no God. That's separation. No, that's denial. That's taking a side. That's taking a stance. You're choosing the atheist religion or the secular religion of government. The communist God. The question comes up routinely in America. Should prayer be a part of our civic ceremonies? She asks. From town council meetings in upstate New York to openings of legislative sessions at the Capitol, President Biden's inauguration was no exception. Biden's address itself was religiously restrained. He mentioned God just 4 times. Once in quoting the Pledge of Allegiance, so he didn't say it. The Pledge of Allegiance says it. Before God and all of you, and twice in a closing request that God bless America and the troops. So basically the times that he has to say it, right? He's not saying God this, God that, God heard me, I prayed, nothing like that. He's not even remotely close there. 4 times? Give me a break. Especially coming off of the heels of the president who prayed the most, Donald J. Trump. She writes, but before the address, Jesuit Father Leo O'Donovan delivered an invocation directed not at the audience, but to a gracious and merciful God, quote, a creator of all, and the holy mystery of love. And after the inaugural address, Reverend Sylvester Beeman gave a benediction that was equally divine, a supplication to a dear glory, majesty, dominion, and power forever. I guess I'm old-fashioned, but I think we should keep church and state separate, and that the government has no business establishing any religion, even a vague one. If it's got God in it, it counts, she writes. Yikes. Can you imagine being her parents? Her father? If she knows who her dad is and he's aware of her writing, what can you think he would say? O'Donovan and Beeman quite rightly delivered non-sectarian prayers. So they didn't say Jesus, they just said God. Or rather, didn't even say that. She quoted, right? Creator of all. That could be, you could be praying to the universe. You could be praying to heaven at that point, or just earth. Doesn't matter to her. The fact that you're praying is enough. She doesn't like it. No Jesus, for example. So as to appeal to the widest number of believers. But that still leaves out the non-believers. That's what she's saying. You even praying leaves out the people that don't pray. So how dare you? About 26% of Americans call themselves atheists, agnostic, or nothing in particular. You know what? I agree. Those 26% of Americans that identify as atheist or agnostic are nothing in particular. That's sad. And plenty of those who are something in particular still might not... What? And plenty of those who are something in particular still might not particularly believe in supreme being. Kate, learn to write. Or they might, but not in a hurry, we need your help kind of way. What? It's not about being offended. Okay. I'm an atheist, but God talk doesn't usually bother me. Get a hyphen. I think she's saying God talk doesn't bother me. Hearing a grown-up ask God for something should sound as strange to me as hearing him plead with Santa or Superman. We seek your faith, your smile, your warm embrace. That should sound weird, but it doesn't. I was raised in America where pledging allegiance under God, spending money with stamped "In God We Trust," and ending speeches with, quote, "God bless America," are so automatic that gracious and merciful God sounds like blah, blah, blah. That is the opinion of the Washington Post's Kate Cohen, that if you ask for God to bless America, if you ask God that he sheds his grace on thee, then that really sounds like blah, blah, blah. Do we even need to continue to read her communist thoughts? Let's just continue to see. But blah, blah, blah. Is that really what we want from our ceremonial language? Well, if that is what you think blah, blah, blah is, yes. We'll just tell you yes, Kate. That's what we want. That's why we're doing it. That's why it's still being done even under Biden. That's why. Because Americans don't want to, as you say, rob the prayers of any rhetorical power. You're saying, if we're just going to read on, leaving aside constitutionality, as unfortunately the courts seem to do, unless every American actually believes that we need to ask a supernatural power for help, then appealing to God robs those prayers of their rhetorical power. Really? She's saying, if we're asking for God's help, but not everyone really believes or agrees, then you're really just, you're doing a disservice to your prayer. Kate, I will tell you, I do not need your help in telling me how to pray. I don't need you to tell me what Americans want. We know as Americans, we want God in our lives. We want God to lead our nation, which is why it has, for the last however many hundreds of years, said, on every institution, under God. That is on our courts. That is on our money and our notes, our currency. For a reason. I'm glad that she points it out. Money stamped with "In God We Trust." A pledge of allegiance where it says "under God." Yes, it does. Oh, you know the thing. Yep. And so does the rest of the country. And even you said it doesn't sound weird to you. You don't believe in it, but you grew up around it and it doesn't sound weird to you. Do you want to know why? I would imagine it would be because somewhere deep down in that pit, you may call it a heart, in yours, you should find a God-shaped hole. And that's why this feels normal to you. Hearing it, you're like, oh, that's familiar. Man, why don't I have that? That thing, what is it? It's not, I think I know love. It's, what is it? Faith. She doesn't have faith. In God we trust. That offends her. She says it's not about being offended. I'm an atheist. How does that have anything to do with anything? Starting your paragraph off with the thesis that you're trying to state, it's not about being offended. Okay. But then she lists every other reason that she is offended. She just claims she's not. That's how it's easy for her to pull from. When I hear someone pray, I just think that they're being stupid, like they're praying to Santa or the boogeyman or Santa or Superman. Really? Well, no, actually, it doesn't sound that weird to me. I'm saying that because it should be. I'm being a jerk. When I hear someone say they're an atheist, I should think that they believe everything came from nothing and that makes them an absolute dunce. Someone that I shouldn't even take their opinion, but from boot. Because as soon as they say, I'm an atheist, I go, okay, so you base your entire life's principles off of what modern science can tell you, except for what everything else that is based on, where that comes from. Can't explain that. Impossible. The best scientists say, well, you would say the Big Bang would be an explanation and that would be kind of coinciding with one another. Like the religion kind of feeds on what we know of science and vice versa. Those are the best minds. Kate is not one. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you so much for subscribing. If you have not already, if you're part of that 63 to 65% of people that will over the next 3 days watch this video and you're not subscribed, it would do a huge, it would be a great favor. It would help a lot if you could subscribe here and on Rumble and on BitChute and on Odyssey and on YouTube and on Gab and everywhere else that you can find at America Floats, because we're doing everything that we can do to help keep America afloat.